Controversial and charismatic, Elon Musk is a figure that manages to consistently stand out, even in today's frenetically fast-paced news cycle. A billionaire, entrepreneur, and occasionally accidental online celebrity, Musk is known for founding auto manufacturer Tesla, private aerospace-turned-commercial spacecraft manufacturer SpaceX, and online bank X.com, which became PayPal as we know it today, among other projects. Born in South Africa, he moved to Canada and then Pennsylvania and California to attend college, eventually dropping out 2 days into the PDD program at Stanford to engage with the contemporary internet tech boom through his first company, Zip2. From there, he branched out into further infrastructure, transportation, and software projects, all defined by his singular future-focused vision for tech advancement. Now a father of 5 and a household name, surprisingly, there are fascinating parts of his resume and life story that get more overlooked than others, and here they are. There's probably a lesson in here somewhere, but who even knew someone could trademark another person's name? However, while Musk's company Tesla is busy trademarking clumsy brand names like Tesla Kila, an enterprising t-shirt manufacturer in Georgia filed an application claiming a trademark on Musk's actual name. The applicant, Gerald T. Ingram, hopes to corner the market on selling t-shirts emblazoned with the name Elon Musk, and has already went in on purchasing the domain names ElonMuskTees.com, ElonMuskTees.net, ElonMuskApparel.com, and ElonMuskApparel.net in the hopes of distributing them through there. This trademark, if approved, would mean that Musk would be shut out of the possibility of selling t-shirts with his own name on it, either through one of his already existing companies or another venture in the future, without having to pay Ingram for the right. Talk about a blow to the ego. However, according to culture website The Outline, chances are pretty slim that the application will be approved when recognized as the third-party attempt to cash in on Musk's celebrity and success that it is. Like a lot of kids in the 1980s, the early home computer market led to days full of childhood inspiration and enterprise poking around with the new technology and writing programs in rudimentary programming language BASIC. Unlike a lot of kids in the 1980s, Elon Musk managed to make some good money off of it. Musk's weapon of choice at the time was the Commodore VIC-20, predecessor to the beloved Commodore 64. He created the rudimentary Atari-like space shooter Blastar and sold the code to magazine, PC, and office technology for $500 when he was 12 years old. That's a pretty hefty sum now, not to mention in early 1980s dollars. Musk's interest in video games wasn't just limited to preteen dabbling. When he was a kid, traveling to his father to the United States and spending time in the arcades there enamored him to both games and the country. It should come as no surprise then that one of his early employers was the 1990s-era video game company Rocket Science Games. While not strictly in the design role at the beginning, he was commended by co-founder Peter Barrett for his dedication. Working up from a low-level coder, by the end of his employment there, his name was on the credits for 2 games, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs: The Second Cataclysm, and Lodestar: The Legend of Tully Bodine. He also worked on their game Rocket Jockey, which seems like an early merging of several of his interests in hindsight. This seems more like the plot of a rowdy 1980s college movie than a glimpse into the life of a tech billionaire. But nevertheless, this is an entirely true story. Transferring from Queen's University in Ontario to the University of Pennsylvania, hoping the Ivy League school would broaden his opportunities, he met now longtime friend and fellow Silicon Valley entrepreneur Adeo Resi, who convinced him to pitch in toward renting a house off campus to escape dorm life. They wound up the only residents in a 10-bedroom frat house, which they were able to rent fairly cheaply. While they spent the weekdays to themselves studying, the weekend brought a whole new crowd to the house. As many as 500 people would show up weekend nights, paying $5 at the door for all the drinks and jello shots they could consume. Resi decorated the house in fluorescent paint and tape plastic over the windows. Musk would stay sober and run the party while Resi pushed to create an atmosphere he described as a full-out unlicensed speakeasy. They wound up hiring someone to work the door and would frequently make enough money to pay rent after one night of partying. While not typically known as a celebrity that collects cars, one in particular caught his attention. In 2013, a Long Island contractor bought an abandoned storage locker for $100 that happened to contain the Lotus Submarine, a vehicle made famous in the James Bond film The Spy Who Loved Me. As if this wasn't fortuitous enough, Elon Musk bid on the auction secretly, forking over $866,000 for the vehicle. Turns out the submarine scene in The Spy Who Loved Me was a childhood favorite of Musk's, who was disappointed that the original vehicle was incapable of actually transforming. However, in a later press release, Musk had stated his intention of adding a Tesla powertrain to the vehicle and doing what he can to make it transform for real. Talk about pimping a ride. The Great Recession of the late aughts was bad news for a lot of people, who lost unfathomable amounts of money. Even someone as seemingly invincible as Musk wasn't immune to the troubles. By 2010, in the midst of a costly divorce from his wife, he admitted in a court filing that he 4 months previously had run out of cash, and gave an eerie glimpse into how wealth works for entrepreneurs that amass venture capital and stock and seem incredibly wealthy on paper but hold a personal income vastly different than appearances. Now, Musk was hardly poverty-stricken, living off a self-admitted allowance of $200,000 a month, mostly subsidized by loans from wealthy friends. However, even that amount is a tiny fraction of the personal assets one would expect of someone with a value in the billions. It sounds like science fiction, and it's literally part of the plot of the movie Total Recall, but Elon Musk proposed an idea that could bring blue skies on Mars. His idea? Nuke the planet. Sort of. Explaining his plan to potentially terraform Mars on the Colbert Show in 2015, he said he wanted to create 2 pulsing suns at the poles of the planet through detonating fusion bombs in the atmosphere regularly. The result would evaporate frozen carbon dioxide, which would in turn trap heat in the atmosphere, rising the overall temperature of the planet. When asked whether such a project would be difficult to pull off, Musk enigmatically replied, "Yeah, absolutely, no problem," eliciting understandably nervous laughter from the audience. Until he began cutting down on his caffeine consumption in 2007, Elon Musk was known to consume a downright Herculean amount of the stuff. While pushing himself to near 100-hour weeks building and launching his companies, he was known for drinking as many as 8 cans of Diet Coke a day, as well as several cups of coffee. In an interview with Inc. magazine, he admitted to getting so freaking jacked that I seriously started to feel like I was losing my peripheral vision. It's worth noting that his admitted routine would have brought his daily intake to around 336 milligrams of caffeine, treading dangerously close to 400, the amount Mayo Clinic declares to be dangerous for human consumption. These days, he drinks Coke that is not only of the diet variety, but caffeine-free as well. It seems entrepreneurship and taking groundbreaking leaps runs in Elon Musk's family. In 2017, Elon's mother, May Musk, became the face of CoverGirl makeup at the age of 69, which itself would be an accomplishment of note. However, May has been in the modeling business for decades, starting when she was 15 years old. During her career, she has appeared on the covers of beauty magazines around the world, appeared in ad campaigns by nearly everyone in the business, from Clinique and Revlon to Target. In 2013, she appeared in the video for Beyoncé's song Haunted. Besides modeling, May Musk is also a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and wellness coach, running her own personal nutrition brand for over 45 years. As such, she became the face of cereal Special K, appearing on 1 million boxes in Canada as part of a special cross-promotion for her book Feel Fantastic. She also has a number of academic health studies published in universities across Canada and the United States to her name as well. While proposing nuking other planets, building flamethrowers, and reverse engineering Bond vehicles may lead to occasional Twitter jokes about possible Hank Scorpio-esque supervillainy on his part, fact is Elon Musk was a direct influence on a certain superhero. When preparing to take on the role of Iron Man in 2007, Robert Downey Jr. found himself invited to tour SpaceX alongside Elon Musk. He was inspired to reach out while walking through a former hangar owned by Howard Hughes and wishing to peek inside a similar mind. While enamored with the technology surrounding him, Downey really wanted to get inside Musk's head. They ate lunch together after the tour, where Downey took note of what he considered accessible eccentricities that Musk displayed. He was excited to meet someone in tech that was charismatic and approachable, and wanted to replicate that as much as possible. When he returned on set, Downey insisted that director Jon Favreau acquire a Tesla Roadster for Tony Stark's workshop. Doing so, he believed, would both cement a connection between Stark and Musk, but also hinted how connected Stark was by acquiring such a vehicle before they hit the market. The connection between the two wound up beneficial to both, as it fleshed out Downey's performance and helped boost the profile of Musk in the public eye. Musk took advantage of this new status boost, appearing in Iron Man 2, lending out his tech to other movies, and making appearances at Hollywood get-togethers. He began to joke that this new turn of events had recalibrated his life to becoming 10% playboy and 90% engineer. Not quite a bourbon-swilling, hard-partying Tony Stark, but definitely more open to fun. Musk may have missed the boat on trademarking his name, but Twitter is doing its part to protect it another way. Any unverified Twitter account that changes their name to Elon Musk immediately gets locked down for violation of their terms of service. Surely, no matter how unlikely, there has to be at least one other person named Elon Musk in the world. Is that person just not allowed to use Twitter? If this rule sounds arbitrary and weird, it actually has pretty solid reasoning. In the summer of 2018, bots across the platform were posing as the SpaceX entrepreneur in order to insert themselves into conversations promoting a cryptocurrency scam. In a move that's even more shady, they would show up in the reply of Musk's own posts with a superficially identical profile, making it seem as if Musk himself was in on the scam. According to website The Verge, who explored the limits of this particular Twitter rule, turns out it only targets unverified accounts that have no attached phone number. If you have a blue Twitter checkmark or have your phone number attached to your account, it won't trigger shutdown at all. And if an account is shut down, all it takes is a phone number verification and solving a CAPTCHA to keep the name. Good news to however many other real-life Elon Musks there might be out there.